My girl does a 50-meter run up to kick the ball. There she is, running out. I skip through. And she misses. What's the dumbest rumor you've ever heard about yourself? When I was in middle school, people were saying that I was homeschooled, even though I went to school. So kids in my school aren't allowed to play tag at school, so my kids played coronavirus. They couldn't touch each other, but they coughed on each other to tag them. When my son was little, he would beg his brother to put him in his particular pillowcase and swing him around. I know it's insane, and the only reason I'm telling you is now because they're grown up and I can't lose custody of them. Trying to eat a cracker. Come on, you have to take your mask off to eat a cracker. Everyone knows that. One time I was like 11. My dad took me to an Italian restaurant, and the waiter asked what my name was. I said Sam, but you can call me Captain Rivoli, and my dad just looked at me and said, "What the frick was that? Don't do that." And I've been chasing children are the best fundraisers because they don't understand economics. Principle: the student who raises $500 for the school will get this free hat. 12-year-old me. That is such a great deal. Kid describes color to a blind person. Have you ever seen the color of a blueberry? I haven't seen anything. That's the whole point. I always told people I met Michael Jackson, but now that I found this picture, man, who the heck was this? When I was 6, I named my Animal Crossing character 6, and I couldn't change it back, so I panicked and went outside the next day and smashed the game card with a hammer. I have lived with this my whole life. 3-year-old. Mummy, I don't want dinner. Me. I'm not making dinner. I'm making you a big snack. 3-year-old. Yay, snacks. 6-year-old. Do dragons fart fire? Me. I don't know. 6-year-old. I thought you went to university. So there was this episode of Hannah Montana where Jackson pretended to he lost his memory. So me in 2nd grade wanted to do it too. I had slipped and fell in the bathroom and at school, and I told my friends I couldn't remember anything. They told the teacher, and I went to the nurse. Then I went to the hospital. They were doing hella tests. The whole time I'm faking it. Grandparents brought the kids a pitching machine. It took the kids 5 minutes to find a better use for it. Nine years old cousin. Do you smoke? Me, yes. 9-year-old. Do you know that smoking shortens your life? Me. Yeah, I know. 9-year-old cousin. How old are you? Me, 18. 9 years old. You would have been 28 by now. My 3-year-old calls my kids realised that I was missing this year, so they put on a music festival for us in the garden. It was, and I cannot stress this enough, awful. I just want everyone to know that my 2-year-old has insisted on being pants for Halloween. I would just like to thank the person who told my daughter that when she lies, her eyes turn a different colour. Now she squeezes her eyes shut every time she lies, and my job has just become a whole lot easier. What is that one thing you did as a child and still gets brought up to this day? When I was a wee lad, my family and I were at a restaurant. We were waiting an unusually long amount of time for a server. I stood on my chair, slammed my fist into the table, and exclaimed, "They're not helping us because we're black. We are not black." Kids going places. My son got his car stuck in the snow. Whenever I get discouraged and want to quit something, I remember the words of my then 3-year-old after she puked carrots all over me in the living room floor. I'm gonna need more carrots. When I was 10, I told my mostly white class that I was Japanese, and the little white girl raised her hand and said, "You can't say Japanese, you have to say Asian," and everyone agreed.
Amen to make up the
Jesus Christ. How can you even create so much chaos in 10 seconds?
Amen to make up the golden challenge.
What did I just watch? Painting with water. Keep your toddler busy by letting them paint the fence with water. So my 4-year-old nephew asked me to draw him Harry Potter. He then excitedly shouted, "I'll do the legs!" A child ripped up their allowance because he wasn't happy with the amount. His mum walked out of her room and saw this. What would you do if this was your child's behaviour? Keep it and give him a piece anytime he asks for money. Lamau. Apparently my 9-year-old nephew wanted permission to make a Facebook account, and my sister was like, "No, you're 9. And then he figured out how to make one behind her back and got caught immediately when he sent her a friend request. Kid buys farts from Amazon. Hi, hello. I understand your child has accidentally placed an order and you wish to cancel the order with refund. I can help you. Great, thank you. Just want to confirm. You are referring to the Extreme Farts extension pack. Yes, that's the one. I had to work overnight last night, and while taking a nap today, I was vandalized. I have a picture and have detained the 2 suspects, but one is not cooperating. The only one who can speak blames it on the 4-legged suspect who has no hands to pull off such a stunt. Thanks to my neighbour for pointing out that I have marker all over my face when I took that 4-legged suspect for a walk before I realised I was vandalised. Bedtime was half an hour ago. My 6-year-old just walked out bleary-eyed and asked his father if a duck is a predator. Some things are just too important to go to bed without knowing. I just remembered that when I got my first dog, I was 7 and he was 7 in dog years. And I cried when he turned 2 because I didn't think a 14-year-old dog would want to hang out with me. What the frick, Daniel the tiger? This is 10 times worse than my kids seeing violence on TV. We're setting up our inside beach. I wouldn't let her drink the chemicals under the sink. My daughter was born when my son was just 2. For the first 6 months of her life, we were constantly greeting her, "Hi, sweet girl. Hi, little one. Hi, my precious baby." My daughter is 18 months old now, and no matter how much we correct it, my son is convinced her name is Hi. We he will say, Mum, Hi is awake. Hi is hungry. My absolute favourite, hello Hi. What about hi? Hate playing make-believe with my little kids. You shoot them with a laser and they're like, actually I went back in time so it doesn't count. The heck are you talking about? You just casually rip open a hole in the space. Time, this happens when I'm playing, like, for example, tag, at school, but I don't play tag. When I see other people playing tag, I see someone that's just about to get tagged, and then they say, time out. 2-year-old eating his lunch. Papa's coffee is hot. Me, yeah baby, don't touch. 2-year-old, me blowing it for Papa? It was at this point I witnessed horror as my 2-year-old attempted to blow on my freshly made coffee, only to spit half an eaten chicken nugget straight into it. This is the same post that we saw earlier, I think. I guess I'll just die, this is titled. Okay, there's people. Whoa. My son bet me that he could make a piece of paper fly farther than I could. So he spent 10 minutes making the fanciest paper airplane I've ever seen. The look on his face when I crumpled mine into a ball and launched it across the house was priceless. Sucks, be a loser, Lamel. When my brother was 9, he said, get the flag on Roblox, so they banned him, and he cried so hard that he threw up on the carpet. Ian, thank you so much for being part of my first class. I love your optimism. Oh wait, no, I should read this. My nephew got a card from his teacher, and he read it, and instead of showing anybody, he on the couch for a while, finally a quiet voice asked, Auntie, how long have I had autism? Oh. When life gives you lemon loaf, call it lemonade cake. 9-year-old didn't want to try my lemon loaf, but when I rebranded it as lemonade cake, he was interested. Oh, come on, put toilet paper in the bath. I thought women had their periods forever when my first period stopped. I assumed that the neighbour's dog impregnated me, and when I pet him for a month, I believed myself to be carrying half human, half dog baby. The story is brought to you by and to end it on this.
O que tá fazendo?
Tô cortando a barba.
Oh!
Okay, why would you let your child play with that? That is so stupid. And to end it on my story, this kid had a supposed girlfriend, and for some reason I don't know if this is true, this is from my friends, which lie a lot, got a $300 ring and proposed. Honestly. It's the weirdest story I've heard from my school. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Click on screen. Bye.